Hello all of you and welcome to my YouTube channel Sara's Kitchen Garden. I am Sara and I am sitting next to my router for the best internet connection ever. It's inside our hall. I had made huge plans for this start of my live stream project this week from the kitchen garden. It didn't go well at all, unfortunately, because it's very windy and our internet connection did not cope with me at all. So now I have been a bit angry for a few minutes and then decided to, well, I will make it one way or another. So now I am ending up like this, and I cannot move really because I think I will lose you then. So I hope you will appreciate this effort that I am making. I will show you my view. Hello, Benny. So nice that you are watching. As you can hear, it's very windy. I have tried to hide my microphone in here. So I hope that you will hear good. My view is not the best. And Eva Madeleine from Denmark, hello. And I will give all of you this wonderful view. Right? Yes, thank you. I am really fighting with this internet connection. So here is my kitchen garden. And New Zealand, my God. Really nice that you say hi and where you are from. I appreciate that really. As I said, I made great plans for this start. Well, the start was of course to get dressed for this because it's very cold in Sweden today. So I have several layers of nice clothes and my winter trousers on and everything. And I have 2 hats, one blue and one purple. That is needed when you don't have that much hair. All right, so now a few of you dropped in and we'll see if anyone will catch up later. It's a bit tricky to do live streams in this channel at Sara's Kitchen Garden because most people following are from like other countries. So when I am awake, they are asleep. So you will have to watch later on. And for this week, I am planning to do 1 live stream from my kitchen garden each day as a project. It's nice to do something else for a change. And I will not write anything specifically for the for my 2 blogs. I have 2 blogs about my garden. The biggest one is in Swedish at sarabäckmo.se, and I also write an English blog at sarabäckmo.com. And so that all of you could follow this live stream, I decided to do it in English, and I hope it will work fine later on this week. I asked for some input, some suggestions about what to show you this week, and I already had several suggestions. And if you want to share with me something that you would like to see from my garden, a specific part, or if you want to watch some vegetables or whatever, you just leave a comment and I will try to get back to you about that. Actually, it was just the other day, I think it was yesterday or the day before that, that our fall suddenly turned into a winter-like weather. So until now we have had a very, very nice fall with warm weather, both day and night mainly. And I have been out in the garden quite many days actually. It's been nice and the children have been playing and everything has been cozy and nice, and I have done plenty of things. But I still have, well, I was going to say too many things, but well, almost too many things on my to-do list before winter comes. But yesterday I felt when I went out that, oh, it's freezing. And I am not yet used to this cold, because it takes a few weeks for me, you know, leaving fall and entering winter. to get used to the cold and what to wear and how many layers of clothes, etc., etc. So yesterday I didn't actually go out. I just went out and I picked some kale for our dinner, and then I went back in. Thank you for your suggestion, Eva Madeleine. I will pick that up later on. Right, so today I was going to show you my kitchen garden in fall, because when I started gardening myself, I started this garden project in 2011, and my dream was then to try to create a kitchen garden that would basically give us all the vegetables that we need during 1 year, almost 1 year. And I started by choosing 6 months that year, 2011. So I started the garden season in 2011, and 2013 I made this experiment by creating or only growing for self-sufficiency in the garden. So between June until December we were going to harvest all the greens that we needed, all the vegetables in our own kitchen garden. And it actually worked. And I was very surprised, because I knew, plenty of people living in houses and having their own garden, and some of them have a small plot where they grow vegetables. But I didn't hear anyone who grew that many and for that long time. So when I was entering, like in 2013, when I entered November, December, and saw how many vegetables that were still like nice, standing, being well kept in the garden, I was so surprised. And by showing my own garden in this season, I think might be inspiring to someone else who want to grow a lot of vegetables and so on. Diana, can you say which amounts have you grow, or make a blog post? My kitchen garden is about 350 square meter big, and there is a blog post in English. It was one of the first blog posts where I introduced myself, and there is some information in English about the size of the garden and what I grow and how I started. And you can find the numbers then, not in square meter. I don't exactly know what kind of numbers you use actually in like the United States, but you will find all of that in that blog post. I will try to link that like on Facebook, so you will find it easily later on. So I have 350 square meters over here. Now I turn the camera. So this place is 350 square meters, and it is divided into like 5 main pieces in which I grow vegetables. And I also have 2 polytunnels. One is 45 square meters and one is 18 square meters. So, and I also have, because I happen to make new garden beds all the time, I don't know if that happens to you as well. This is our north part of the garden, and in a few years ago we sat under this apple tree. This is where we have our Swedish fika, drinking tea and coffee and having fruits in the afternoon. And my husband said, well, you know, it looks really nice when things grow in our garden. And until then, I was not allowed to dig on that lawn over there. But he suddenly changed his mind, and I was out the same evening digging new garden beds in that area too. So all in all, I think I have like 500 square meters to grow food in our garden. And I constantly make new garden beds as well, because I think it's really, really funny. And the thing with growing food is late in the season is really fun, and it's inspiring, and it's very tasty, and it's it's a good use for us to have this kitchen garden that is, I mean, it's full of vegetables, really. And when I asked you for things that you would like to see from the kitchen garden, my garden friend Molly in Sweden asked me to show what kind of vegetables I can actually harvest in October. And that was what I thought I would do to show you. But now I think I will stay put here, and then when I have said the things that I want to say, I think I will try to just walk around a bit in the kitchen garden to see if it works. But now from my point of view, where I sit, I can see a lot of brassicas. So I have sprouting broccoli, I have broccoli, which is a cross between the broccoli and the kale, the black kale. I have, well, ordinary kale, the green kale and the black kale as well. I have the Brussels sprouts as well. I have cabbage with pointed head, a green-white variety. It's actually Fildekraut. It's a very pointed head. It's a nice cabbage. And I have red cabbage, and I have also a black kale that I enjoy very much. It's Jagala Nero. It doesn't have the typical black kale leaves. It's I will try to show you later on. I also have plenty of Asian kale varieties like Komatsuna. I have Kailan, I have Pak Choi, and a lot of things like that. I also have spinach, plenty of spinach. I have some leek left. We had a terrible year for leek, unfortunately. Leek and onion did not grow well at all. Leafy greens, radishes and turnips, plenty of turnips. And they are just amazing this time of year because I don't have to water them since rain and snow care for that. And over there I have, well, plenty of roots. I have salsify. There are two varieties of salsify, the black salsify and then another one. It looks like a very hairy carrot. It's white almost. It doesn't look too nice, but it tastes wonderful. It's like the artichokes. Did I say, yeah, carrots? I don't have any parsnips this year because we grow plenty of, oh, it's very windy. We have plenty of potatoes in another garden where we actually grow potatoes together with our neighbors. So I thought this year we will have plenty of potatoes, so I don't grow like parsnips too, because we will have problems like eating all of it. So no parsnips. And the salsify, yes, spinach, and over here I have, you don't see it, but it's actually there. I have some chard left and more brassicas. And in my polytunnel, the little polytunnel, I have more leek. I have the beetroot leaves. Beetroot leaves in a variety called bull's blood. It's super tasty and it's super nice to grow in the winter in Sweden because it doesn't freeze the same way that other like beetroot leaves do. So it's really nice variety. I also have, well, it's some sort of turnip. It's from, oh, I will have to show you later on. I don't know the exact name of it. It's Svedjerova in Swedish. It's an old traditional turnip. It's very tasty and also quite hardy, actually. And in my polytunnel, the big one, I have still sugar snap peas. We enjoyed that, I can tell you. We have plenty of lettuce, winter, no, it's not called winter lettuce, sorry. Lamb's lettuce, corn salad. I think that is the number one leafy green for winter. I also have the miner's lettuce. It's number 2, the winter leafy greens. And more of the beetroot leaves. And some kale, pak choi. I have moved several things from my big kitchen garden into the polytunnel. And I started to say something about having, different types of garden beds, and basically I grow the same vegetables in all kinds of beds, and that is very good. I have the main kitchen garden out here in the open, and I have more well protected areas in raised beds with lids and all type of covers, like row covers. And I also have my polytunnels, and in the polytunnels I also grow in covered raised beds, in protected raised beds. And that is very useful to combine all different kinds of garden beds, I think, because I don't have the same type of risk as if I grow, like, let's say, kale. If I only grow kale in the open, and there's an elk coming in one night and he just eats all of it, or a deer or whatever, then I don't have anything left. But if I have my kale in different places, it's more, well, it's not likely that they will come and eat all of it in one time, so to say. I love my garden at this time of year because it gives me hope and energy to move into winter. And I mean, one can go out. I will actually stand up. I am very cold on my butt to show you. I mean, it doesn't look that pretty or that good or that amazing at the moment, but when I actually go down and I touch the soil and I can see what's in the soil, I get so happy. I mean, it's actually close to winter in Sweden, but I can still harvest so much food in the garden. It's amazing. And I think that if people only knew about the possibilities, well, everyone would have to grow vegetables, I think. And those of you watching this video from other countries, you should consider that in Sweden we have cold winters, but most of all we have dark winters. So that is not very good because things don't grow in wintertime. If you live in a country where there's it could be cold winters, but you have daylight, then vegetables could keep growing if you can create like garden beds that are warm enough. If you could make like hot beds, or you can, I mean, those wallipinis, where you actually dig down your greenhouse under the ground, so you could keep it from freezing. Then you can keep growing vegetables also in winter, but that's not possible here in Sweden. So what I do is that I grow plenty of vegetables that are ready to harvest when the cold comes and when the dark comes. So we are having like a few weeks left in which vegetables can grow with the little daylight. And in the middle of November, nothing except the miner's lettuce grows really. It's very windy. Oh. Well, what do you say? I think I will try to put my gloves on and just take you for a short walk as long as the connection allows it. Just to show you a bit of what I am talking about, and then we will hope that things works better tomorrow. Wild boars. Is that like animals with 4 legs and big? We have pigs, we have elks, and we have deers, and we have those rabbits, all of it. This is a very common question when I have like lectures and courses in gardening. People always ask about pests and animals of different types, and yes, I have them all in my garden, but most of all I have, yes, vildsvin, pigs. Most of all I have 4 children, and I cannot say that any animal that lives close to this house caused me so much damage in the garden as my 4 children. I will give you an example. I will just turn the camera. This is apart from my root vegetables, one bed, there are 4 beds here and here and here and here. And the second bed here is for carrots. And in Sweden we grow 2 different types of carrots, winter carrots and summer carrots. Summer carrots, they grow really, really quick. You can say that 3 months after sowings, you will probably get an harvest if they grow well. And winter carrots, they grow slowly. And they are hardy varieties. They can stand in the ground even when it's winter in Sweden, in south parts of Sweden. Anyhow, and this spring it was very tricky with carrots because it was so dry. We didn't have any rain for 2 or 3 months. It was really a problem, but I managed to germinate the seeds, and I watered and I took care of them. So good. And then my son Otto, he is 9 years old. He was going to weed the bed for me, and he actually chose the wrong bed, unfortunately, and he's very, very carefully, and I don't know exactly how I made the instructions for him, but he cleared almost all the bed from this carefully kept, carrot bed, and that was basically it. So I managed to make new sowings. I made 4 sowings in the same bed, so I have 4 different sizes, and it was very tricky. So I think when it comes to the animals, they don't do that damages that the kids do, and the kids they don't want to do any harm. They want to help me, and they are so kind and so nice. And I would say I actually wrote a book about this about gardening with children, and it's launched in March. And I write about it, of course. The children, they want to help, but they don't always get the instructions in a perfect way. So, and I have to cope with that, as with elks or the boars or whatever. So my idea is to grow, well, even more, so that I can fill those mistakes. If you know what I mean. So standing here looking at my garden, I always feel very satisfied, and I also feel very proud that I managed to grow this amount of food, even though I have 4 children and the pigs or whatever. I have never had pigs inside my garden. We have a huge dog, a Newfoundland dog, and I think he managed to keep them away by spending a lot of time in the garden and make noises. We had the dog we had before, Kolja. The same night as he died, we had plenty of animals in the garden. Sorry about the noise. And that was also very interesting because the days after that, when he died, I could see signs from the pigs coming closer to the gardens. They were just a couple of meters away. So what I did then was I peed in my potty and I water it around the garden. And they didn't come here. So I think I have like magic pee. Magic urine. Now I will turn the camera and we will try slowly to go around and see what we can find and how for how long. So if the connection suddenly like cuts off, I say thank you for watching, and I am a bit sorry about this start because I wanted it to be not perfect, but I wanted to show you all the lovely vegetables that I have managed to grow, so that you will feel inspired and say, yes, I want to grow in late season too, but I will have another chance tomorrow. Now I will turn the camera and show you the garden. And it is a bit messy, of course, as it is when you live with children. And this is actually not my not only my playground, this is also the children's playground. Yeah, Catherine, you comments about the clothes. I have plenty of clothes. I will try to show you exactly what I am wearing, if I can, yeah. Try to. I have jacket, and I have 2 of these, and this, you know, clothes of wool underneath. And here are my trousers, and they go all the way up. It's like the sailing trousers, so they keep me warm. And I specifically like those trousers because the wind don't hit me in the back the same way as if the trousers don't go all the way up. So I actually feel quite warm. I only freeze my fingers. Alright, so this is the area where I had my peas and beans this year, and this is the salsify, and I keep it in the ground over winter. This is just a lovely vegetable.